fighter jets, drones, submarines, Pakistan is showcasing its military strength. Much of it relies on Chinese technology and comes at a growing economic cost. Rising food and electricity prices are putting a heavy strain on the population. At the same time, Pakistan has taken out loans from the International Monetary Fund, which come with austerity conditions. In fact, Pakistan is expected to reduce public spending.
It is indeed ironic that Pakistan ends up spending a lot of money, number one, on the military, number two, on its debt servicing. Pakistan is caught up in a very intricate situation. It has very strained relations with India as well as with its western border, Afghanistan. It has pursued policies which have denied the social sector, investments in the social sector, and that's why it has also landed in these economic troubles.
Pakistan is rapidly rearming with growing support from China. A flagship joint project is the F-17 fighter jet produced in Pakistan. 1 in 3 fighter jets in the Pakistani Air Force is a JF-17. The country is also increasingly relying on Chinese technology for drones and its navy.
Defense requirements are almost 80% from China, and this dependence has grown out of a compulsion that grew out of successive sanctions by the United States on Pakistan's key defense requirements, including the nuclear as well as missiles and jet fighters.
The military cooperation is part of a broader partnership. Under the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor project, China has invested around $25 billion in infrastructure so far, with a focus on power plants.
The results are not as they were desired 10 years ago, but the relationship is deepening both in the economic sector as well as in the defense sector.
Improved infrastructure has hardly led to new jobs, for example in industry. So why this continued rearmament despite tight finances? Pakistan faces multiple challenges: tensions with India, instability in Afghanistan, and terrorism within its own borders.
Pakistan has meanwhile become a military-dominated country, a country which looks at all the issues through the security prism, with a particular situation on its eastern and western border. So the prism that Pakistan's ruling elites have applied to the problems is security and not the economic.
Many arms projects, such as the recent submarine deal, are financed on credit. At the same time, broader economic benefits from domestic production only materialize after many years, once Chinese components are replaced with Pakistani ones, as in the case of missiles.
JF-17 is called a cooperative program, but the reality is that it's a Chinese design which is produced under license in Pakistan, with many of the components, especially electronics, coming from China. So calling it co-production is just a nice word for buying it and producing it under license.
At the same time, strategic dependence in trade is increasing. As military and economic cooperation becomes more concentrated on a single partner, Pakistan's political room for maneuver is shrinking.
China has a grip on Pakistan. Because of this dependency, China have some leverage on Pakistan and can use that in time of need, when they, for example, need a temporary base and say, Pakistan, sorry, but we need that place.
In the short term, China offers Pakistan investment and access to modern technology. In the long term, however, growing dependence could limit its economic autonomy.
I don't see any risk for Pakistan being so dependent on China, because the Pakistan-China relationship is sort of intractable. It's inalienable. It has tested the tests of time. It has stood the tests of time all through decades.
China is a country which develops and is willing to supply basically everything that Pakistan needs. So it's not that Pakistan is suddenly without a navy because China is not developing ships. China develops everything and is willing to supply everything to Pakistan.
For now, the country is simply unable to strike a balance between its security needs and economic prosperity.